wanna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it.
Yes. Welcome to another episode of Sauce So Separately, brought to you by M93. We are here with the sauce of Nashville, with the sauce of Sonics, with that guy that sits above everything that you can possibly think of, but you actually don't know. So we're going to go ahead and pull the curtain back and actually get into it. The business of music. Sauce is always so separately. It don't come on the tray. Welcome, Blanco Brown.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you.
Hey, man. Listen, bro. It's been a while, bro.
Man, been a little minute. Working.
Yeah, bro. I've been seeing it.
Same old, different day.
Yeah. I can dig it. New album is out.
Yes, sir.
New album is out. You know what I mean? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling amazing. Releasing this new music.
Yeah.
One song at a time.
Okay.
And one EP at a time.
So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing the EP. I ain't see the LP. So See the Walls and Whiskey.
Yes, sir.
Where the title come from?
Man, See the Walls is that nostalgic memory that I remember, growing up as a kid.
Sure.
I grew up in the west side of Bankhead. It wasn't nothing but cement brick walls,
Understood.
brick by brick.
Understood. West side of Atlanta.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Bankhead. Straight from it.
Now, so many people don't know that, though.
Yeah, they don't.
They don't have no idea that Blanco Brown is from the A. Let's just be clear. Let's be all the way clear. You see the sauce. You see him show up in Celine and do what he do, good wrist pieces and all of that. That comes from Atlanta. Respect to Nashville, but he's dripping. That's where he bring the Atlanta sauce to the Ville. So we appreciate
all day,
that.
man. I done brought the sauce all the way across the world. You understand me?
Let's say that.
But Washington Road, man. So my, from the hood to hood, all day. Azalea Manor, Park South.
I'm very familiar.
Say man. So the See the Walls were like an upscale thing for me.
Sure.
We would go to our great aunt house, me and my brother, and she had See the Walls with pictures on them. I didn't even know that was a thing. Sure. Like, we didn't have pictures hanging on the wall where I was, so I felt like they were floating.
Okay.
You couldn't hang too much on cement.
For sure, right.
Now I know you need an anchor to hang that.
God's gracious.
Long story short,
That's
man.
Right.
The whiskey, you feel whiskey in your chest when you drink it.
Say that.
I don't drink, but I feel like when you hear my music, you feel it in your chest and your heart.
Okay.
Yes,
So talking about the EP, because I want to touch on that because of course we music guys. I remember when we originally met through Hero the Band.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I was like, yo, this guy's amazing. I hadn't heard of you at the time 3-4 years ago, right?
Appreciate it.
And man, when we connected, I was like, and the spoons, like it was a thing, you know what I mean? The spoons and the watch, and I said, man, I really deal with Blanco, man. I'm fucking with him. I really like him a lot, like on that, because the Sonics was crazy, right?
Yep.
So like my like listening to the album, right? Respectfully listening to the album, like One Day Less is one of my favorite joints. Tell me where that came from.
Man, One Day Less, my partner Justin, he's actually from Marietta, Georgia.
Get out of here.
And he lives in Nashville and been on the Nashville scene for years, writing a lot of hits for a lot of different artists.
Oh, songwriter.
Yeah, he's a songwriter, but he should be an artist.
Sure, of course.
Long
Shout
story
out to him.
short, yep, he let me hear the song, and I said, man, how long have you had this song? He said, I done had this, Bubba, over 19 years, and people love the record, but nobody wants to cut it. I said, give me a shot at it. He said, it ain't no shot with you. I know you gonna kill it. So that's how we got the song.
He knocked it down. Now that's one because I lived with it for like the last 3-4 days for real, and it's a vibe for me because I'm a Sonic man, so I'm like always gonna be into what's fire. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
So getting into it, I think that like your approach is like really non-traditional, right? So it's like kind of like this pod is like non-traditional where all the pods are 85-90%. They're talking directly just about the music and the music only. But I like to get into the business and the business of music, right?
Yes,
and
sir.
then we pull the curtain back and kind of go into the vault. You know what I mean? As far as Blanco's lifestyle, as far as like what you like to do, but what is that non-traditional approach that you brought to Nashville? It's different because you see different guys out there now. Like Shabuzi has had a rise. You see different people out there. Jimmy. That's out there. Jimmy Nichols, Kane Brown, all these different people. I'm just kind of seeing that non-traditional approach. So tell me what made you kind of be comfortable with that non-traditional approach, being that you were like the polar opposite of what everybody else looked like in Nashville.
Man, I mean, honestly, I want to stay true to my roots. I love trap music. I love country music. Trailer park music, I call it.
Trailer trap.
Yep, I bridge the gap.
That's right.
I call it trailer trap.
That's right.
And I didn't feel like I was going to be received the way I need to be received if I was pretending to be like something else.
So you felt like it was pretend to put on a cowboy hat and do that from being from the west side of Atlanta?
A lot of people doing that right now.
Yeah, say that.
In the following on my footsteps.
Say that then, because you laid the sauce down. That's
they,
one thing that I always, and I always want to commend you on, because you always like the first out of Nashville, sonic wise, to look a certain way, do a certain way. I've seen you with RV sponsorships. I've seen you with branding, and I wanted to kind of lean into that as a segue, right? Because how much more do you think that the branding helps your brand, like when other brands collab with you? Because I see that a lot.
Man, every time I get to collab with somebody that's amazing,
right?
For me, it's just a win-win.
Sure.
Because there's always new people and new exposure depending on what you into.
Sure, of course.
Like a lot of people don't know I'm into cars.
That's right.
They don't know that I collect like comic books.
That's right.
Like
That's
I got
right.
a kid side of me that it ain't gonna never go away.
Okay, say that. But that's the sauce part of it. So coming into it, like, I think, 100 acres, 40 cars. You feel me? Like, where does that come from? Like, you know what I mean? And I say that because being in a space, most people, like, your label, you sign a Broken Bow. They have artists like Jason Aldean, other superstars as well, too, and Jelly Roll, right?
Yep.
But, those Jason Aldean and Jelly Roll numbers produce the income that you're spending. Right? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I wanted to talk about that a little bit, right? Is like the cars more of an investment, or is it more like something that need to have an assessment?
Oh man, it's always an investment.
Okay.
I just hope on dying my family members sell it off as the lowest price you can think of.
Okay.
Because I know what they're worth.
Sure.
So I wrote down exactly what everything is worth.
Right.
And I wasn't like that before I was in my wreck.
Say that.
But after the wreck, I was just like, all this stuff would have been by the wayside. Everything I worked for.
Right.
These storage units with my prized possessions in them, and
sure.
These warehouses that I've rented out.
Yes.
I need somebody to know what everything is.
That's right.
Go
At all times.
Go get it all.
Oh, get it all. That's right. 100%.
So
Because the accident, I know a lot of people don't know that also. I mean, I know that was a time in your life that was like God-given, like, as far as your recovery is concerned. Because a lot of people don't know about that, the bike accident that you had, man. And I think that was really a pivotal point as well, too, in your career. Even though it was started as a tragic, I think it turned more like a blessing as well, too.
Oh, it's always a blessing to make it through circumstances and show people exactly what God can do.
Sure. And
through me, he showed the world that no matter how far you're down, you can get up.
That's right.
No point intended.
That's right.
And
the Get Up, by the way,
yeah,
the biggest line dance song. Let's be clear. The biggest line dance song in history. I want you guys to be clear. Blanco Brown from the west side of Atlanta, bubbled out of Nashville crazy, went silly, provided his sauce, and guess what, though? I'm going to be honest with you. When you look at the biggest line dance song, it doesn't belong to Dolly Parton or anybody right now. It belongs to Blanco Brown.
Hey, now say that.
You know what I'm talking about? So, flowers need to be given at all times, because people really forget that who really cooked the sauce up. You know what I mean?
Man,
like, they forget it, bro. Like, what's going on with that? I'm looking, and I see Billboard, I see all these write-ups, and I'm like, hold on. Nashville got all this light now, right? Like, okay, Blanco Brown been in Nashville for multiple years, doing multiple numbers, right? Millions and millions, right? Respectfully. And then, what was the turning point? To where the urban community came to take a look at Nashville. When do you think that turning point was?
Man, honestly, before I even get into that, I want to say I'm still in the kitchen, perfecting the sauce.
Ooh, say that. Say that.
So
say that. And your sauce comprised of a couple different components. So it's like,
man, we ain't talking about no regular sauce.
Hey, no question.
We ain't talking about no hot dog water.
Come on.
We passed them points.
Come on.
They going to catch up.
They gonna catch up.
And I ain't talking about mustard.
I ain't talking about mustard.
I'm trying to tell
or
you.
Heinz. You understand me?
I'm trying to tell you.
It's a different thing.
Hey,
it's
man.
a different thing. That's right.
Tomato paste.
Yeah, say that.
We ain't talking about the acid for the stomach.
Yeah, carbone action right
Hey,
there.
man,
Something different.
man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, so I feel like a lot of people started getting impacted as soon as my record came out. Lil Nas X record came out.
That's right. Old Town Road.
I seen people, if you look back at their old records, they was rapping and singing totally different, and all of a sudden they wearing cowboy boots and they doing country music.
Right. Okay.
So I ain't saying that it's fake.
Right.
I'm just saying they were inspired.
Sure, of course.
So I'll be glad to see when they speak on it.
Man, say that then. See, I think that, and also to compliment that, like, I, not myself, because, been doing work, in Nashville for years, I just noticed that the urban community started to pay a lot of attention to it when, like, Beyonce put her sauce on it, right?
Man, I'm talking about, that was the ultimate, like,
Yeah.
All
like,
of a sudden, I seen like women that would be like, "Man, you country, what you got on, blah blah." Now all of a sudden, everybody got a pair of boots
it's
and
cool now.
a hat.
It's cool now, right?
Yeah, Beyonce made country cool again.
Say that. Shout out B and the Beehive for definitely
You know what's so
pointing that out.
crazy? I just thought about Lainey Wilson got a
Okay.
album called Country's Cool Again. So that was,
Wow.
like those impacts, and it's women that's actually stepping up
Sure.
and bringing a lot of attention, and they don't get the most respect that they should.
Okay.
And I feel like there's a lot of train riding right now.
that bandwagon 2.0.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. That's right.
But I honestly feel like the next best thing in country music will be Blanco Brown.
Say that.
I'm already there.
But you, like you
But
said, next best, but you like that already, right?
Yeah,
All
man,
right, so,
I ain't made it the way I want to be at. If you
Okay.
think about my career,
okay.
I put out the song in 2019.
Sure.
The world shut down in 2020.
Sure.
The song wasn't even out for a whole year before my career had to be put on hold.
Correct.
And in 2020, right when the world shut down, I got hit by a drunk driver head on, died in a wreck, had to learn how to walk again, hold a
Talk
microphone,
about it.
new pelvis,
Talk
everything.
about it. Yes.
So if you look at my career and my time, I didn't even have 12 months out before,
That happened.
like, the world crashed.
But they stuck with you though. That's one thing I paid attention to.
Yes.
They stuck with you and they rode with you. I mean, like, not for nothing, your engagement. They were really concerned. They were really like, hold on. But like this is a guy that we have a chance to really be the next one. And when you say the next one, it's like, it's kind of crazy to me because with me, I look at, not only my friends, but my associates when they're super dope, like, yo, you are that one already, right? And
Yep.
I think that it's a difference between making it and then blowing up. I feel you've made it already, right? Do you feel you've made it? I feel like you might feel like you have, like, I think you feel like you haven't blown up. You feel like you made it. Like, blowing up is Doritos, commercials, Gatorade, Stetson, all of that. Making it is like, hey, I got millions of dollars and I can do what I want to do and I can tour the world and etc. That's making it. I'm making money.
Oh, I'm blessed. I'm blessed.
Yeah, I'm blessed.
Definitely. I would definitely say, man, like, it's a modest experience
Mhm.
to be where I am and where I'm from.
I mean, you come from the west side of Atlanta, come from the bottom.
Yeah, so I just take every day with stride, honestly,
Understood.
and I continue to just climb.
Sure.
And I just want to say on the Beyonce comment, making country cool again, it was that record. When I dug into her album, I didn't feel like it was so country.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah, it
I didn't feel like
it
it
was
wasn't, yeah.
it was far from country.
It was.
But she had all the right
Elements
elements.
to prove that visibility. So that difference is like Nashville didn't seem like they accepted it, right? Like the source behind Beyonce's Cowboy Carter, like
Nashville did accept it.
Okay.
It's the playmakers that didn't accept it.
Okay.
But when you went to those Broadway honky tonks and
Sure.
you rode around the city, you
Sure.
heard it everywhere.
Sure, of course.
So Nashville is the people.
Yes.
So I just got to give Nashville their due diligence, because they always say Nashville didn't accept this.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a handful of people that didn't move the needle on it.
Okay.
Stubborn, old school ways.
Sure, of course.
The old heads.
Sure,
you know
of
what I'm
course.
saying?
That's right. They got
But-
old heads. A lot of people don't know that they got old heads in the Nashville game like that are still gatekeeping.
Yeah, but the people matter the most, and nobody can keep a gate other than God.
Say that. That's
So
right.
I keep on going.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I love that. So, like, 40 cars, 100 plus acres. Where did the 100 plus acres come from? I noticed that I did see that, even on your gram, like, Vince was telling you bought, 100 plus acres. I see the lake out there, multiple lakes. Where's that located? Like, where you're from? Or, like, where's that?
Oh,
Give
I'm
me the
here.
business
I'm
behind
here
it.
in Georgia and in Nashville.
That's
but
right. 100 acres. Now, what we doing with that land, and that's an investment, though. That's the cloth behind it. That's the sauce behind it, I should say.
Oh, yeah,
Right? You
it's-
took the music money, and it's property now. It's investments now.
I own more than 100 acres, but it's because of my mindset and investment. God ain't making no more land.
Say that.
So you buy what you can in, primary spots, and it could be the biggest thing ever.
No
So
question.
I bought
So your last acquisition was 100 plus acres more than what you already have on top to add to the portfolio.
Yeah.
Correct.
So honestly, man, I wanted somewhere where I could just go and have my own everything. I can go shoot, I can go hunting, I can do whatever I want to do.
Sure.
And can't nobody tell me nothing.
Say that.
No HOA, no none of that.
That's right.
So
that's right.
I was blessed to do that, and I'm gonna build a farm. But I'm actually trying to develop that 100 plus acres, like 120, into festival grounds.
Oh wow, amazing.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get permits to turn into a festival ground.
And is that in Tennessee, the state?
No, that's here in Georgia.
That's actually in Georgia.
So I wanted to where people get off the plane.
Sure.
In 15 minutes from the airport.
Sure.
120 plus acres festival. People flying in across the world just to be there at this big old country festival. I'll be like the first to do it.
Right, say that 1,000,000%. And like being the first to do a few different things. I think that as a first, when you and I met, we met and kind of came aligned to a synergy with music, and then we both had nice watches on.
Yeah,
with fans of
man,
watches.
we were talking about the watches in the studio that day.
Yeah, that's what we had a whole thing about.
I said, you got on a piece now.
You got a piece now, right? I said, Blanco, you know what this is? You said, ain't no question. Yep. You know what I mean? That's when we became like Rolex brothers.
Yes,
you know what I
mean? I keep my two-tone on because this was the first watch that I ever bought.
Okay. Talk about that.
When I was 19, working on the Lloyd Street Love project.
Wow.
And, the Sierra Get Up remix and all those type of records. Sure. Working with Jasper Cameron. Yeah. This watch was the first gift to myself.
Wow.
When I was 19.
Wow.
And this ain't the actual watch. This the model.
Oh. Okay.
I had to sell the watch in order to invest in my career.
Oh, talk about that part.
So really, let's be real formal.
Okay.
My whole career started with a Rolex.
Get the fuck out of here. Really?
I'm dead for real. The car I bought, the studio equipment I bought, it all started with one watch that I flipped and turned it into my career.
So then you went back, and after you got your career, you went back and got that
and
watch.
I got this watch, and I said I wasn't gonna get this watch until I made over a certain amount of money.
Correct.
And I just waited.
I respect that.
And then I bought the newer model, so here I am with this watch that remind me. I play the spoons in this. You see the spoon marks all over.
I see it. Oh wow.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how I see the little indentions. Like I get it, no doubt, 1,000,000%. So like while we speaking about that, property, investments, like people look at art and different things like that. You and I, we look at like watches. You know what I mean? So I think today I brought me a couple pieces. Oh yeah. And I think you brought you a couple pieces too.
Yeah. He told me I need to bring out a couple pieces. Yeah. So I said, let me see what I can do. I went to my savings deposit box.
Oh, man. Say that.
And I grabbed a couple little things.
Love that.
Yep. I always have on this watch, and I really don't switch it out. Okay. Honestly, to tell you the truth.
Okay.
The stuff I brought, I barely wear it.
Okay.
But I played the spoons in one piece. I'm gonna show you that people say I'm crazy for.
Okay.
It got spoon indentions on it too.
Yeah, why wouldn't it? Well, look, we're gonna show a couple pieces to the people. You know what I mean? Like I brought me a couple pieces out. You know what I mean? You brought you a couple pieces out. So shit, why not? You know what I mean? I'm gonna pull the tray table up.
Hey now.
You understand me? We'll get it right here. So with me, I like that case. You jumped out the rose with the case, man.
Hey,
Let's
man.
lay the case out, man. It's about you today. You feel me?
Man,
yes, sir.
I got a little something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. See, once Blanco done brought the cloth out. He brought the real sauce out. You understand me? You feel me?
It's a few things.
Now, this is different right here. This is a different type of sauce. So understand something. This is what they call eloquence at its finest, right? I mean, like, listen, you want to go through some of the models?
Man, this is 25th anniversary AP.
Say that.
A limited edition VU meter music AP.
Nice.
They did 250 of them.
Say that.
Skeleton. This is the new
Royal Oak.
Yep, 50th anniversary though.
Nice.
Skeleton back.
Nice.
Then this is the limited anniversary of 150 piece with the green face.
Nice.
This is the limited 50th anniversary with the 50 on the bell.
That's right.
Skeleton.
Sauce.
Tag
Tag Heuer. That's right.
And,
just so you get it twisted, Tag Heuer do make pieces. We want to be clear.
Oh yeah, no, this one right here is crazy because this ain't your typical. And I bought this watch knowing that they only made 150 of them.
That's right, one of 150.
Yep, and this polycarbon, and it got some real lightweight fixtures, and
nice.
It's the
The element is attention to detail.
Man, this watch right here probably cost me 25, 30 grand.
Okay.
And it's selling for like 75
market
to
right
90.
now. Ain't
Yeah.
no question. So this piece right here, because I see this one right here, this AP right here.
Oh yeah, that one.
Give me a cost on that.
When I bought it,
Mhm.
it about. I ain't gonna get in the line. I paid retail for everything.
Of course.
But I think I paid about 65, 70 for that.
Okay. Say that no more. Okay.
And they going for like 100 plus.
That's 125 all day.
Yeah.
Now listen, I love the Daytona piece. This is heavy sauce
Oh,
right here.
The John Mayer.
Yeah, the John Mayer. The John Mayer. Let's be clear. The John Mayer. This is the John Mayer. No, let's be clear. Now look, this is a gold Prezi I got on. We understand Series 2. We get it. But this right here is the John Mayer. Shout out John Mayer too. I saw him the other day on a special. He had about 12 pieces laid out. And I'm gonna tell you, attention to detail. When you talk about jumping over $1 to get to a penny, that's what some of you would do, not knowing the cloth that this is cut from. This is different right here. This is off market. Let's be clear.
This is the only watch that I paid for aftermarket.
Did you? Of course, because that, and I see it.
I waited years to get this watch, and then they discontinued it.
Wow.
And this watch retail about 40 grand.
Yes.
But
retail.
they going for 150.
155. I just saw it yesterday.
Yep. And this is not in rotation. We the only two people that didn't touch this.
Wow.
It ain't been.
And you know what? And it's the thing I want to say about Rolex and APs and good pieces, because a lot, they're called examples, right? And going into examples, right? Because I have an example I'm gonna show in a little bit, and the examples are limited pieces. So if you choose to give it to your homeboy and he chooses to go and sell it, don't you realize there are some makers that will never sell you another watch again of that caliber? Respectfully. Okay, let's keep it rolling, Blanc. You got the good Sky Dweller right here.
Man, I was waiting for this watch. Maybe 2 months.
Okay.
And
navy blue face Sky Dweller. Is that why you go to platinum?
This is stainless steel, actually.
Nice stainless, boy. Nice.
Everybody was trying to get this watch.
Sure.
And nobody could get it in less than a 2-year wait.
Wow.
But
because the retail was like 21 grand or something like that. You were grabbing them.
My rep at Rolex put me on the list and snatched the first one that was in there.
I know that's right.
I jumped the line. So
I know that's right.
Favor ain't foul, but God is.
You say that, then. You know what I'm talking about.
I wanted this watch so bad. And then I actually bought this watch from a famous movie director.
Did you really? Nice.
Yep, he's done like Batman.
So did you see it on his wrist? How did that happen? Did you see it?
No, my watch person told me, hey, I don't want to say the name. She was just like, hey, he got a piece that he didn't fall in love with, and it's the newest Sky Dweller, rose gold, limited quantity. They didn't make a whole bunch because it's hard to produce. This is actually the most complicated movement that Rolex actually has.
Say that.
There's no other Rolex that's more complicated than the Sky Dweller. But with that being said, I bought this from him, and I went over to his house, man, and he had like, I knew why he ain't want it, cause for him this a throwaway.
A throwaway for him. That's right.
He had like Tiffany and Company paddocks and everything
all day long. That's a whole different.
Then
swag.
He had the new Tiffany and Company paddock that's going for like $2-3 million.
Yeah, all day long.
But he got it at retail.
That's the reason why he got one. That's without spending a couple of $1 million.
Yep.
Now this next one.
This one right here is a limited anniversary factory bezel. I don't have nothing aftermarket like.
And let's be clear. Let me say this, right? Like, because Hove had a line a couple of years ago, well, a couple of decades ago, that said, those ain't Rolex diamonds. What the fuck you done to that? Now, respectfully, see, the reason why Rolex diamonds are so important, and I want to be clear because we're speaking about cloth and sauce here. Rolex diamonds are very important because they're original factory set. There is no aftermarket glue. There is no bezel being pulled off. This is made at the Rolex factory, right? Now, whether you have a Jubilee, right, or set band, you definitely have to have it set at the Rolex factory. And it gets it. That's why they have the examples. And mind you, this is a green faced boy right here, so it's a different sauce. I just want to be clear.
It's an anniversary, but then I had to have the white gold anniversary green also.
That was one of them things where you was like, man, I love both of them. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to get both of them.
Yep. So I got both of these. A lot of people don't even know. You can tell if a Rolex is white or platinum or stainless steel by the bumps on the crown.
By the bumps on the crown. That's
Yep.
right.
So this is the
See,
gold.
the bumps on the ground will tell you that if the bumps on the crown will tell you if it's white gold, platinum, or stainless.
You
like
see
that
this
one.
dash? That makes it stainless steel.
See that?
You got a dash at
That's
the bottom.
right. Dash at the bottom of the crown. Ain't
Then
no
if
question.
you go here, you see the 2 dots.
That's right, at the bottom because it's gold.
Mhm.
That's right. Ain't no
And
question.
I mean, that's how they do.
Now,
they do
let's
that
talk about this piece right here, because I got a special day date with a salmon face, right? I didn't bring it with me today, but I ordered it, and I waited. This right here is, tell me about this piece. It's special.
This is the stainless steel. You see, you got the dash at the
Sure,
bottom.
of course.
But this is a celebration, Rolex celebration. They celebrated the birth of Rolex, and this is one of the watches that they made, so it's very limited. My Rolex rep, Lever, hit me up and say, hey, I got this celebration piece. Everybody want it, but I put it to the side for you. I drove from Atlanta to Nashville to go pick up their watch.
I would have done the same thing.
And turned around the same day.
Yeah, be right back trip. You know what
Yep.
it is. Now, celebration piece, very limited. Celebration piece. You probably ain't seen none of these, and I'm gonna be honest with you. You probably ain't seen some of your favorite rappers, or even singers. You know, be honest with you, just to be clear. You know, with such exclusive pieces. Now, the reason why I wanted to highlight this, with Blanco was because a lot of Nashville's new coming fans have no idea, of the level of the money that you're earning from country music. Right? Let's just be clear, and this is the reason why Top 40, alternative, and Nashville, aka country music, trailer trap, because that's we put that sauce on it. You
I
feel me?
think it boils down to not that it's only country music, but how you got your business set up.
Sure, yeah, 1000%. Great
Also,
segue.
like, I own my publishing at 100%.
So now let's speak about that. So going into it, like I'm really on that, right? Like I'm really always preaching that on guys that come into the game independently and really don't know about the business of music, right? So when you're going in and you own your masters, or you own your publishing, you're actually a writer, right? You're 100%er. You're one of those guys that's going to earn substantially more in the business of music, because the business of music is what pays. The music business doesn't have nearly as much money as the music business doesn't have nearly as much money as the business of music, generating wise,
Man,
right?
it's so many.
Let me ask this question: you look at your contracts too with your lawyers, or do you let the lawyer say, "Okay, cool, man, Blanco, I got this deal for you over here, etc." Like, are you one of the guys, or your paperwork guy?
Yeah.
Amazing.
I look at everything.
Amazing.
I redlined my first contract.
Say that.
Myself.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Tell it, can you like kind of give a little bit more insight? Because for me it's one side, but when I actually hear someone who's actually made it and making it currently, like your side of the fence with it, right? Like, how important is that?
To know the business.
Yes, right.
Man, if you don't know what you're getting into, what you getting into it for?
Say that. Well, we're talking to 65% of the music business,
That's
right?
why
They don't know.
You get these artists crying. I'm dead for real.
They crying, man.
I'm gonna take on my class for that. You get these artists crying
Talk about it.
because they don't know the business.
That's right.
They got the talent or the gift. That's two different things.
Sure, of course.
Also, talent and gift.
Give us the contrast, the talent and the gift, and then we'll get to the business.
A gift is something you're born with.
Okay.
It's your purpose. It's
Sure.
what you stand for.
Sure.
There's a lot of talented people that's just talented, and they decide to do whatever they wanted to,
Sure.
or make sense for them.
Sure.
But when you have a gift, man, you use it for God.
Say that.
You're supposed to,
Respectfully.
or you'll be taken away.
That's right. So in the business, having the business together, like, when people don't have their admin together, people do not have a publisher together. Like, so would you get into the business and, tell me about that journey, how that worked when you got signed to Broken Bow and you were still knowing the business. How did that go? Because most people who know the business are going to sit down with labels, and labels don't like know-it-alls, but you know a lot.
Man, I came in and I signed my deal through Zach Katz at BMG.
Shout out Zach Katz.
By way of Broken Bow.
By way of Broken Bow.
Yep.
Okay.
John happened to be in the office that same day
Wow.
that we walked in and kicked down the door. We weren't even supposed to be there.
How'd that happen?
Man, me and my homie Tyler,
Okay.
we got dang on.
Was he your manager at the time, or was he your friend?
Yeah, he was my friend
Okay.
that wanted to be a manager.
Sure. Learning the business.
Yeah, learning the business. But I told him, hey, let's see what we can make happen with this music. And we went to L.A. Drove a Mercedes-Benz Sprinter up. They owned a car dealership in Vegas.
Oh.
I lived in Vegas for a year
you?
doing
Okay.
Boys and Men stuff.
What do you mean?
Vocal producing,
Oh, really?
writing,
Now,
engineering.
Wanmore is the group Wanye's kids, but you mean
Yeah.
Boys to Men, the group.
The actual,
Sure.
yeah.
Shout out Boys to Men. Legendary.
Working with Wanye a lot, man, and that was an experience that I never forget.
Your
But-
vocals are off the chain. I just, because a lot of people don't, they don't look to country music for big vocalists. And like, you're one of them guys that's gonna go on the stage and tear it down like an R&B vocalist, right? But you have bro, I'm watching it like, and it's like really, it was blowing me. Gonna give you the shivers. Like, yeah, Blanco can sing like a motherfucker. Respectfully,
thank
you
you
know what I mean?
much.
Like, yeah, no, like no bullshit. But
Man, listen, I'm trying to tell you, we went to L.A. and I got footage that I have to share with the world one day.
Okay.
Have you ever heard the saying, you look the part,
Of course.
you can be the part?
Ain't no question.
We were driving to studios in the Mercedes-Benz Sprinter and breaching all security. I'm dead for real.
Listen, sauce is so separately. It don't come on a tray, respectfully. That's a different sauce. I'm pulling up in the Sprinter. That's like how I got in the Summer Jam when I was a kid. I pull up in the new Jaguar with the Versace's on. Security,
Man,
where the performers going at. And you gonna pull right on in there.
I done walked into so many VIP sections as a kid when I wasn't that important.
Right?
I just looked like I was supposed to be there.
Look the part.
Man, I'm trying to tell you, like, we actually have footage
Right.
talking to security at the gate, riding into the studio session. Nobody at the studio found out, nobody there.
Wow.
We in the studio with $10,000-$15,000 mics,
Right.
everything.
Ain't even supposed to be there.
We ain't supposed to be there.
Feed your dreams, starve your doubts. That's exactly
Yep.
what I'm talking about.
But thank God we ain't steal. You know what I'm saying? I'm dead for real.
Right, because you
Wait till I show this footage. It's producers that don't even know we were there.
So let me ask this question. Documentary wise, it's the brand of it. Documentary wise, like we need to talk to Amazon Prime, Netflix. I mean, Blanco Brown needs that
Man,
documentary.
if
So
they really knew my story,
Right.
Hey, God get all the glory.
is that on the horizon? Like, is that because I know.
Man, I'm putting some clips together,
Okay.
and starting to introduce like what I've been through.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't know that I've seen people get killed right in front of me
Sure.
and people die.
Sure. I had my time in Bankhead Courts growing up, you know what I'm saying, coming down here as a youngin', and I just know, like, I'm just singing across because in that time and in that area, in Bankhead period, from Bowen Homes across to Bankhead Courts, like, it was like Beirut.
Oh yeah, man.
Like Beirut.
I'm trying to tell you, every man fend for himself.
That's right.
I lost my first friend when I was 5.
Oh, man.
He got hit by an 18-wheeler. They forced him to go into the middle of the street to pick up a football. He
What
was
you
up over
forced
there,
them?
like, you better go get the ball or we're going to beat this.
Oh, okay. Say that.
So he ran out in the middle of the street and got hit by an 18-wheeler.
Damn, man, tragic.
Yeah.
That shit is tragic. But if we think about the way your career, has spawned off, and not just being a great artist, right, a great creative, right, but also a great businessman. So like, I'm always in a space where the brands like RV companies, whether it's Stetson or Marlboro, if you smoked, you know what I mean, just going to a space where the sauce is the culture, and then the brands want the alignment. So it's like Chevy coming to Blanco. Like, okay, because I've heard, in the business, like, man, Blanco, man, you think Blanco a rapper. Look how you dress. You dress fly, you dress fly, and you know what I mean? Like, in that space, like, what's that been like? And give me that. Has it even ever given you a drive to change things? Like the way you do them, or no? And I'm just saying that because a lot of people always take outside opinions, and I love it. I love the sauce. I love the swag. That's why we here, along with you being a buddy of mine. But I'm just like, I'm asking that because as an artist and a creative, artists and creatives are sensitive when it comes to their art, right? And part of your fashion is your art. So how do you deal with that part when people say, because you don't dress like, for example, you don't dress like Kane Brown, right? And I just say that because you're on the fly side of things.
That's funny. I actually worked with Kane Brown.
Kane is amazing. That's right.
I did some of his first records.
Really?
I worked on his first album.
Really?
And I also worked with his wife.
Oh.
And they met in my session.
Really?
Yeah.
So for the people,
me and the producer, and that was 2016.
So look, going into 16, the world didn't know you was Blanco Brown until 19, right? 20, right? Is that like what? And I'm saying
2019.
The world. Okay, so
I didn't want to be an artist.
That's what I want to speak about. So behind the curtain is the pen. is the production, right? And you curate and you work with so many different people across the board. You know, you want to elaborate on that a little bit where it goes to the business again, where we're speaking to the business of songwriting, administration, publishing, those different things.
Man, you're looking at a product of growth, honestly.
Okay.
As I sit before y'all, honestly, for real. Like, I'm talking about no BS.
Right.
I started off not having confidence, told that I wasn't like the strongest singer.
Wow.
My brothers, they used to sing so good that I just took the back seat.
Wow. How many brothers?
I got 2 brothers.
Nice.
And
Older?
one older and one younger.
Okay.
So I learned to do the background.
Okay.
And that's how I learned how to vocal produce.
Sure.
So I started off as a barber
Okay.
around the music industry.
Really? That was an end.
I was cutting hair.
That was a sauce. That was a sauce as an entry point.
Then
Nobody knows that. I would have never fathomed that.
2008, my homie Darrell showed me how to engineer, because I wanted to engineer myself.
In 08.
I wasn't confident enough to sing in front of people and be taking those takes.
Sure.
I wanted to make my mistakes on my own time. I learned how to engineer. 2 weeks later, I worked with Dipset, did their project.
Did you?
And then I did the Wild Gospel compilation.
Get out of here. What diplomat
Engineer.
project? The diplomatic community is the engineer.
Man,
The first album.
I
probably.
did some stuff. I did some stuff with Freaky Zeke.
Okay.
And,
Shout out Freaky Ziggy. 730
Yeah,
Freaky. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
man.
No
So
doubt.
I was doing some of they mixtape stuff
Okay.
back then,
I remember.
and we got some good
Before
we got some footage.
DSPs. Oh, you got some footage.
We got some footage.
That got to
man.
go in the documentary as well.
I'm trying to tell you, man.
So have you seen Jewels or Jim Jones or any of the guys?
I ran into him. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I talked to him at an award show maybe
Okay.
last year.
They had to look at you like, yo, what? Like, yo, listen,
Man, you doing
Blanco
country.
Brown? You doing country? Oh, shit, the bag is different. I see it. The bag is different. Like, you know what I
They
mean?
were calling me Benny Blanco,
Say that.
and they called me Benny Blanco from Atlanta, Georgia, not from the Bronx, from Carlito's Way. Cause I stayed in trouble,
Okay.
but I got away with
Coming
it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, the stuff I used to get in trouble for, I used to thank God it was for that.
Wow. And not for no other shit.
Man, what I'd be
Right.
like, if this is what I'm getting in trouble for, bring it on.
I feel that. I mean, you know, I think the transition and kind of looking at things the way they are, somebody will look at an example and say, hey, man, Blanco Brown, businessman, you know, producer, writer, creative, you know, business owner. You know, when I look at different things, like instead of, hey, let me go rent this tour bus, I see Blanco doing partnerships and buying his own tour bus. Give me that experience. Like, you know, for artists
man.
that are out there, so you know, when you're independent or even when you're signed to a major or what have you, you know, it's always good to invest back in yourself, right? So talk about that part, because I saw the tour bus as me.
I've seen so many artists struggle renting buses that they don't own or have equity in.
Say that.
So I wanted to own everything. And
What's the plus? What's the upside to that? Because, you know, when we renting buses, it comes out the budget as opposed to you going in.
oh yeah, no, they depend on the label to give them back their feedback on what things cost, and they deducting it as they pay for it.
Adding on to the recoupment.
I know what's spent,
That's right.
and
The business of music, once again.
yep, I spend a lot of things on you know, by myself.
Sure, of course.
Like, I was always told, don't borrow nothing. And if you did borrow anything, give it back.
Okay.
And I was also told, when people borrow from you, expect nothing back.
I was like, you know what? It's funny because when my friends ask to borrow money, I just give it to them. Like if they ask me, yo man, can I hold $1,000, $2,000? I just give it to them. Why? Because you're my friend. I don't want to change our dynamic.
You'll
or
ruin it.
relationship.
You'll
ruin your
ruin it
relationship over
because
that.
they'll fail you some, and then the ones that actually keep their word, you know, they stay in good riddance.
Of course.
Yeah.
That's right. 1,000%.
But man, so many folk owe me money.
I could imagine.
I'm done.
How you deal with that though?
I'm done giving.
Say that.
Bank
is closed.
How do you deal with it?
Yeah, how you deal with that? And your level, when I say that, because, you know, Jay-Z had a clip that keeps going viral about, you know, hey, man, when I'm at the family reunion, man, you come to me, my nephew come, I got $4,800, man, and I'm looking at him, it don't work that way. I can't give you $4,800. Now, somebody will look at Blanco and say, you know, Blanco got millions, and my nephew's coming to me and say, Blanco, man, I really got an idea to buy this Uber. I want to get a car, whatever it is, right, coming to you. How do you feel about that when the nephew or the little cousin, and, you know, what's the yes and the no look like for you? Like, yes to this, no to that.
If it makes sense, I'm willing to invest in it.
Okay.
But it got to make sense for me, too, though.
No handouts, just hand ups.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
that.
it gotta make sense for me too.
Okay.
Outside of that, man, you try to fund somebody else's dream. I done let people borrow so much money, of giving so much money, and they've blown it,
Sure.
and then they still need.
They still need.
So
There's no fix to that.
hey, man, in the Bible it say you can't put money in the hands of the wicked,
Whew. Say that.
because that only do more evil.
No evil. The wicked gonna do, because they say having money just embellishes more of who you
Whatever
are.
you are. So if you put money in the hands of the wicked, they gonna create something that's gonna destroy the next generation.
So asking about this, like, when we spoke about the tour bus, right? Like, you do about, what, 40, 50, 60 shows a year? Is that something like around accurate?
Yep, you know what's so crazy? I did, I bought the bus, and
Okay.
it got 7,000 miles on it.
Okay.
I still fly everywhere.
I know, listen, Vince doesn't tell. Vince, I haven't heard anything about this bus in the longest. How in the world, like, and I remember when you bought it, and I'm like, I know Blanco ain't spend, you know what I mean, on that investment, and he's still on a plane. Yo, bro, we gotta go catch this plane. I'm like, plane? Yo, y'all going to where?
The plane cheaper.
Shit. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. No, that diesel motherfucker. Let's be clear. That tank.
It'll ride. They go over 1 million miles.
That's right.
But the
Distance
plane,
wise.
here go the
Spending
thing.
Okay, talk to me.
The plane
Mm-hmm.
is my way, because I ain't gonna even say it's always cheaper. It just feel better to know that I don't have to spend a whole day somewhere
Okay.
when I can spend half that time. You can't get time back.
So do you feel like now we're talking about investments or something that needs an assessment? Like, does that need an assessment? Having a tour bus? Is it now the up
I
and the
think it
down?
makes sense.
Okay.
It makes sense for a tour bus when you hauling equipment
Of course.
and
crew
you're the headliner for every show.
Sure.
But when you're doing spot dates,
Sure.
just fly. Because it really don't make sense. Anytime I crank up that bus, it's $1,000. Then I got to pay the driver every day.
Okay.
Then,
So give us what that looks like. I mean, like, because we're in the space of entertainment, education, right? In the business of music, right? Give us what that looks like. Here's this tour bus, Prevost, whatever it is. I spent whatever on it, and now I have to maintain it to go on this show, on the tour. What does that look like? Like, what is a week, a month tour schedule? But give me expense-wise, just roundabout. Like, what does that look like? Your crew you're bringing with you, the driver you have to pay, the fuel, these certain things. Like, what does that look like over a month's time if you're going on 15 or 16 shows and you're on the road 20 days? Let's just call it a month.
how much has to be spent
Yes.
if I'm on the bus?
Yep. Tour bus, that is.
You just said 15 shows. That's already $15K.
Okay.
It's going to cost that every time I crank that bus.
$1,000 plus
Minimum.
Okay.
I'm saying that's just to get there.
Okay.
But then you talk about coming back, and you talk about 15 days, spread it out. That could be about $70K a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
$70K a month. Now we're now, and this goes to the artists that are out there that feel like it's easier than it actually is, because it's really not. You know what I mean? Even when you're spending the money, you got to continuously spend the money, right? So, do you think that the bus is sitting? You're paying insurance on it. It's sitting. Is it once again an investment now, or is it something that needs an assessment?
I'm selling it. I'm selling the bus.
Okay.
Until I start headlining
Okay.
all the shows,
Okay.
and I got my own tour.
Okay.
It don't make sense.
Now the crazy part about it is that we'll sit and we'll look at $1 million in watches. We'll sit and we'll look at millions of dollars in property. We'll sit back and we'll look at so much bandwidth and education on the business, right? And then this is someone who's saying, I think I'm gonna get rid of the tour bus because until I'm headlining. But you got 40 or 50, 60 dates. Just say a year, right?
Yeah.
So how does that look? You know what I mean? And going to the people that are out there, and I ask that because, is the jet next? Or does that make sense? When does the jet make sense? Because the bus doesn't make sense now.
The jet makes sense when...
Just for those that don't know.
When you're making so much money...
Sure.
...that you got to pay for time.
Say that.
It's an investment in
pay
yourself.
for time. When you're making so much money, you got to pay for time.
Yeah.
That's crazy because you got to crunch time. So you're paying for the time to get there faster to make more dates.
To make more money, to spread more whatever you're doing.
Sure.
And it all makes sense when it equates to revenue.
Sure.
Equity.
Sure.
That's when it makes sense for a jet.
Of course.
But I see these rappers, they just...
Talk about it.
they get the jet put on their rider, and they pay for it.
That's right. The people pay for it. That's right.
No, the rapper pay for it.
No, I'm saying the rapper crew.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It comes out of the money that they gonna make.
Of course.
So they
get $500,000 for a show. You want the jet? Okay, cool.
The jet gonna cost $100K.
That's right.
$100K minimum.
Because people don't know that jet fuel, it burns 500 gallons just to take off. So if you're paying $6 a gallon for jet fuel, just go ahead and do the math. We're not even in the air yet.
I'm trying to tell you, no scooting and booting. The wheels ain't even up. They still up.
Let's be clear. The wheels not even up yet. We already in 20,000.
I'm trying to tell you, that's a fact.
Real talk.
So it's how I said I crank my bus.
Yeah.
$1,000. You crank that jet.
$10,000. Every time, listen, just to get that motherfucker out the hangar. You understand me? That's why they don't turn. They wheel them out. They pull them out. They don't turn that motherfucker on to the top.
Yeah, it ain't regular for you. I'm trying to tell you, you gotta have some whole loan money.
Yeah, no question.
But honestly, man, I ain't gonna even lie. I be looking at like the things I've invested in and the way my life is set up.
Sure.
And I look at like a lot of artists that have more than me, but don't appear to.
So explain that a little bit. Have more than you, but don't appear to. Because to me,
because they blow money on things. Like I own properties. I own like 4 or 5 properties.
Correct. Along with hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
Of land, right.
And I've only had one hit, and I had another #1 that wasn't mine, but I was a part of it.
So let's talk about that part right there.
So if you talk about that, and you talk about these rappers and stuff, and I'm not picking on the rappers. I mean, like other artists also blow money, R&B, whatever. But
we're telling the truth. There's no picking. This is no picking. We're telling the truth.
You see the rappers put it in your face.
Right.
They have all this stuff, but they rent $12 million mansions that they never gonna own.
Talk about it. Come on.
So when their career is up, they have nothing to show for it.
There's no equity. There's no property. There's no leverage. There's no investment.
Man,
if things go belly up for you right now, and the world is like, okay, we froze the banking system, Blanco can take, just for example, Blanco can take his case to a willing buyer and say, hey, I need $2 million. You know what I mean? Just in that space, because that right there is equity. That's leverage. That's investment. Yeah. Right?
Yeah, but I got to get in the bank first. You know what I'm saying?
You get that, you're right. Save your deposit box. 1,000%.
Man, these watches don't go nowhere. They ain't at my house. I ain't got no safe in my house.
That's right.
I ain't with none of, like, if you gonna come in and you see the safe, then you know it's something in the safe.
Right.
I don't feel comfortable.
Not at all.
So I'm gonna put it somewhere where you can't even get to.
Different level. That's right, different level. Private wealth management, safety deposit boxes, different things. And you have to move different one.
You gotta have multiple accounts too.
Of course, 1,000,000%. But that's the thing. Like I see rappers, any artists, period, that just don't equate their monetary gains correctly. The capital gains, the investments, these certain things are so important. They're not buying land. They're not offsetting the capital gains by buying land. They're not investing in art. They're not investing in more properties. They're not investing in business to further, it's like it's crazy.
That's what I've done. So you mentioned country money earlier. I got investment money. So no matter what field I came up in, I would still be who I am exactly at this point right now.
Correct.
No matter what type of music I was doing, because I've invested in stuff.
That's right.
And it's nothing but equity in timepieces.
That's right.
And it's nothing but equity in the right vehicles.
That's right. The right vehicles.
The right vehicles.
So give me an idea. I see, you got Grand National, one of my faves. I love the Grand National GNX. I love that.
It's one of my favorites.
One of my favorite cars. You know what I mean? And I love that. The GTO. I know you brought out with 2 Chainz event the other day. It was amazing, right? That's special. I heard Tip was like, yo, what you want for it? I ain't selling it. Don't worry about it. I ain't selling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he said, what would it cost to build one of these?
Just like right here. Just like this.
I said, man.
About $250,000.
We ain't gonna man. Man, it'll cost more than that.
That's right.
You talking over 4,000 hours of fabrication. People ain't seen the work that went into it.
Sure.
And you talk about it at $100 an hour.
That's right.
You do the math.
Yeah, easy math.
But I caught a good little deal.
Yeah.
I'm friends with Kerbin.
Okay.
And
so who Kerbin is?
Kerbin Customs. They actually did that car.
They did that work for you.
It was a 4.5-year bill, over 4,000 hours. Shout out to Glazerit for the paint collaboration.
Okay. Paint is mean on that thing too. I'm
you.
like, man, bro. That's definitely a 1-of-1.
Shimmer Brown.
Shimmer Brown.
Yeah.
Blanco Brown. You understand me?
Yes, sir. And Kerbin is amazing.
Yeah.
His dad actually just got inducted into the GTO Hall of Fame.
Did he?
Pontiac
Sheesh.
Hall of Fame. And I own some pieces from him also, like some sample hearse wheels that never made the public.
Get this out.
I got the only set to known to mankind to exist. I own.
How many cars you got total? If you got to count, like if you in your head, you was like,
I just say I got a few vehicles.
Listen, he's being modest, right? I think Blanco's sitting on the 30. I'm just being out here. I'm just, listen, and I ain't gonna put him all the way out there like that. I just know the man's a car fanatic, and and your favorites. Give me your top 5 favorites. Then you got a lot of them. Naming 5. Give me your top 5 favorites in your auto collection.
My '67 GTO built by Kerbin.
Built by Kerbin, I know that one.
I got a '65 Gold Hearse GTO.
Oh, okay.
That was the first GTO I owned, and that's a car that made me fall in love with old schools.
Oh,
I
really?
grew up with that car in the hood.
Wow. Okay.
It was owned by Mr. Bass. He was a like OG out there.
Right.
Nobody touched it. It was like the statue of Washington Road.
Wow.
And when I bought it, we didn't even know that it was a gold hearse edition. We just thought it was just a gold GTO, but it's a limited.
How many pieces they make? Cause I know
that
edition
roughly 500 of those
that were made,
and nowhere near that exists.
Wow.
And I caught it at a great price. I tried to buy that car for over 7 years straight. I loved the car so much that I wrote him a letter as to why he should sell me the car.
And he sold it to you.
He sold it to me.
How long did it take?
Over 7 years.
Like,
we was at year 7 and some change when I bought the car.
Sure.
The day he sat down and got the title, man, I went to tearing up. I was just like, boy, it really happening. Let me hurry up and go.
That's a gift, though, to, like, that's a gift to be able to, like, that's what me, like, when I was growing up, I went to end up buying the house that I was riding the bus on past, you know what I mean, going to the mall. And I think it's so special that, like, for you to be able to not just accomplish, like, I accomplished my dreams. No, I accomplished my craft, my gift, you know what I mean? This is what God gave me as a gift. And to be able to do, like, monumental things in that nature, you know what I mean? So we got 3, we got 3 more. That's only 2. We got 3 more. I heard about some bulletproof. I heard about the stars in the roof. I heard about some couple of things, you know what I mean? I heard about a GTR or something. I don't know,
My GTR is one of my favorite cars also. I put it on bags. It's one of 9.
I hear it's a Nismo.
Yep, it's one of 9 Nismos that exist.
Nice. Just so y'all know, it's a different cloth. And Nismo, it's a different thing. Like BMW has M, Mercedes has AMG, Brabus and Rentec. Nissan has still in, and they have Nismo. Nismo is a different model that you buy, and the price is it's a different cloth. Go ahead.
Man, yeah.
But I think
my
76, 800 horses, 1,000 horses. The Nismo.
It's like 600 and something.
Okay.
No all-wheel drive,
yes.
0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds.
I know. That's right.
My 76 Trans Am, limited edition. It was one of.
Is that Bandit?
It's one of 533, the first Hearse cars ever.
Hearse shifter, by the way.
Yep.
Bandit. Is that a Bandit car?
Yep.
The Bandit, like Smokey and the Bandit. Let's be clear, okay?
Yep. So 76 is actually what they use in the movie with the 77 clip on it.
Sure. Oh.
To promote.
Is that right? Really?
To promote the next year.
I never knew that.
Yep. So I got the limited with the actual first Hearse hatch roof.
Sure.
Johnny Cash bumping through the hearse roof.
Wow.
That's in Batman.
So if you and I heard that on the record, Batman. So if you had to, like, not even compare, but when we see other people out there, like Jay Leno has a garage, you got Seinfeld, you got different people who have their garages. Do Mayweather, whomever has their
Jay Leno don't want to see me.
Ooh! No, we didn't go holler at Jay. Hey, Jay, listen, Jay, non-disclaimer.
I'm just playing.
Jay Leno, Blanco Brown says he like to view your collection and he like you to view his.
Jay Leno killing me. But it sounds good.
It sounds amazing. Who do you see out there that you like, that you like, oh man, I think dude got a pretty good collection.
Man.
I know Floyd has a collection.
Manny Fresh got some cars.
Does he?
Manny Fresh got some cars.
Okay, educate me. I'm not familiar. I know he had a few because he had a custom shop at one point. I thought he did.
He got
Fresh Rides. Okay, yeah.
He into cars. He got some cars.
Okay.
Who else?
Ross.
Ross definitely got some cars.
You know, with Ross Car Show, I expected you to have some of the fleet out there.
I ain't gonna pay to get in there.
No, we ain't paying. We gonna pay no real.
I ain't-
Rose, we gonna be clear, Rose. Listen, from millionaire to millionaire, listen, man, we not doing that. From fleet owner to fleet owner, Blanco Brown need to have his fleet out there at the promised land. Let's be clear. That's what we got. We don't need no handouts. We got handouts, baby. It is what it is. You know the vibes already.
They pay
Come
so
on.
much to display them cars. They
Yeah, I
gonna
seen
give
that.
me. They
Ross
gonna
made
give
a
me
killing. He was charging $25,000 for a tent.
You just have to give me a little second. I put a couple out there.
That's it. Give me a patch. Give me a little patch over here, man. I need enough to hold. I bring 5 or 6 in my 40. Because I know you got 60. I got 40.
That's funny. I mean, who else got it? I mean,
There's a few people out there that got some.
Yeah,
fleets.
Mayweather got some upper echelon cars, but it ain't my type of collection.
Sure, of course. So what's your so when you start
I'm
talking
classic.
about, so you're more classic than
Yeah,
exotic.
yeah.
So,
I like the older fenders and the 65 C10s
Sure.
and the 1990 C10s, and I like the goddamn
CJ7s.
the Cyclones.
Cyclones. Oh man. Oh listen.
The
The
GMC.
Cyclone, GMC. They have no idea.
Yep, the
And listen,
Typhoons.
the Typhoon. Come on, you talking my language now.
They're my type of-
282 horsepower,
Hey,
all-wheel drive.
hey,
Come
now
on, man.
say
Flat
now.
6. Come on, inline 6. Let's
Yeah.
be clear. Listen,
It's
I'm there.
The Turbo 6.
Yeah,
on that
Turbo
thing.
6 is a
It
monster.
go through there. And I would have to say my last favorite car is my 1946 Cadillac Woody
46 Woody.
with the original motor, flat head V8, which was actually a military engine used in World War II.
So are you keeping that like museum style, or you not? Because I know Blanco ain't pushing that on a Sunday. Like he's like on 9.
Oh, I drive it.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. I ran out of space. It's at my homie Corey house in his garage.
Shout out Corey, man, holding it down.
Yeah, he was just like, I got you, man.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah, say that then. So I think that going into like in closing, man, I really want to be in a space where the artists, creatives, producers, even executives, because a lot of them aren't educated, one, on who Blanco Brown is, one, but two, not how serious Blanco Brown's passion is for this music and also the business.
Yeah, the
I think you got to
music-
be as passionate, right?
The music is the most important thing, man. The money comes. You can't chase the money.
Okay.
Or you'll lose yourself.
Talk about it. Yeah, but please elaborate.
Man, I
on
mean,
that.
as soon as you make it about money, all of God's enabling leaves the room
Wow.
every time.
They
You
say when
know.
you start chasing the money start running. So.
Man, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And I ain't trying to run my whole life. That's why you see people that do bad business. You see them hustling 20 years from now.
That's right.
They ain't gonna never get to where they need to be at
They
because
hustle.
they've hustled everything,
Right. And everybody.
and they don't even know how to create a foundation because they have no solidarity.
Organization, solidarity, and structure.
Yep.
Cadence, clarity, and confidence. You already know. Sauce is always so separately, don't come on the tray. I like to thank my amazing partner, an amazing supersonic creative and ultra rich, you heard,
That's funny.
Blanco Brown, man. I appreciate you, man,
Man,
for sliding, man. You already know what it is. Big love.
Yes, sir.
Make sure, listen, there's another thing too. Make sure you get that new album. Blanco Brown is out right now. You already know the vibe. Cedar and Whiskey, man. It's an EP, and I hope we get a volume 2.
Oh man, I got a Heartache
Talk.
and Lemonade, Cedar Walls and Whiskey,
Talk.
and then October the 18th, I'm dropping my third EP called Back to Basics.
Back to basics. You heard it here first, man. Sauce so separately. Your boy Cloth Talk, a.k.a. Converse Tyler, Blanco Brown. We're going to keep making hits and making this money. You know what it is.
Trailer
Peace and love.
Trap.
Trailer Trap. Gone.